Let me ask you a question and be honest with yourself. If you were to list your house tomorrow in exactly the condition that it's in right now, with no updates, no renovations, no fixing those little things that you've just learned to live with over time, would you be okay if your house sold for $25,000 to $30,000 less than your neighbor's house sold for? Your shower door won't close, or you have a step on your deck that's coming loose. These are all things that are happening in my house, and we just kind of put them aside because they're not that important to us. But what if you go to sell your house? Do you fix those little problems? Because that's the real decision that you're making when you ask yourself, should I sell my house as is? Maybe the cabinets are a little dated, or the floors aren't trendy anymore. Maybe the light fixtures are from the 1980s, or a window seal or two are broken. And you keep hearing that same advice over and over again, that you have to update before you sell. And sometimes the answer is yes, that $25,000 or $30,000 is totally worth it to make some updates. But sometimes the answer is no, that it's not worth it to you. The key is knowing the difference before you put the for sale sign in the yard. Do you actually need to update your home? Or would listing it as it is, exactly how it is right now, be the smarter move for you? So here's something that I want to clear up right away. When I say selling your home as is, I don't mean ignoring issues that you know about or trying to cover them up. And despite the fact that the state that I work in, North Carolina, is a buyer beware state, I definitely do not mean hiding major issues or dumping issues that you know about on an unsuspecting buyer. What I'm really talking about is this. Do you put time, energy, and money into updating your home before selling? Or do you list your home in its current condition and let the market decide what someone's willing to pay for it? Because for a lot of homeowners, especially people who have lived in their homes for 10, 20, 30, even 40 years, that decision can be overwhelming. And if you're downsizing or entering a new season in your life, that decision can be especially hard to make. If you're watching this, there's a good chance that your home has been a part of your life for many years now. Maybe it's the house where your kids grew up. Maybe it's the house that made so much sense then, but doesn't make so much sense for you now. Maybe there's too many rooms, too many stairs, too much maintenance. Or maybe you're just at that point in your life where the idea of pouring more money into a house that you know you're going to sell within the next few years just doesn't make sense to you. You may be thinking, this place has been so good to me, but I don't want to pour another dollar into it. I see this a lot with downsizers and empty nesters who aren't willing to reinvest in a home that they're planning on leaving. You see the dated kitchen, you look around at the bathroom that works just fine but isn't impressing anyone, and you already know if you start one project that one update is going to make the rest of the house look older and more dated. And then it's going to turn into 3 projects or 10 projects. Maybe you don't want to live through construction. We redid our kitchen a little over a year ago, and it was really a hassle for quite some time. Maybe you don't want to front tens of thousands of dollars for repairs and updates. Maybe you're emotionally ready to just move on. Or maybe you just don't want this change in your life to become that stressful. So let's slow this down and take a look at what selling your home as is really means in today's market. Welcome back to At Home with Jody. I'm Jody Whitehurst, a licensed real estate broker in Apex, North Carolina, helping downsizers, empty nesters, and people just like you all across the greater Raleigh area navigate selling their home and allowing them to start their next chapter. If this video is helpful to you, please don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button to be notified when I put out future videos just like this one. And if you know someone who this video might be helpful to, please share it with them. And if there are any questions that I can answer for you, please put them in the comments below, or feel free to reach out directly through phone, email, text, whatever works best for you. My contact information is at the end of this video and in the description below. So here's one of the biggest myths in real estate, that updates automatically mean higher profit. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they absolutely don't. Because not all updates deliver the same return, and not all buyers value the same things. I've seen sellers in older custom homes spend $40,000 on updating a kitchen, only to be competing with non-custom new build homes just down the street. And on the flip side of that, I've seen homes sold in their current condition, obviously made to look the best that that home can at that point, but I've seen them sell quickly with strong offers, all because it was priced correctly and marketed honestly. The truth is that buyers today are expecting some homes to be dated, especially if they're looking in older, more established neighborhoods. Sometimes what they care more about is the location, the layout, the price, and whether the home feels like it's been taken care of and maintained over the years. So let's talk about the situations where selling your home as is makes total sense. Roof issues, broken seals on windows, foundation concerns. Spending the money up front to fix these things doesn't always translate into a higher sales price and rarely gives you a dollar-to-dollar return. Or maybe your home is just dated, not broken. Everything works, but it just looks like it belongs in another era. Many times in that case, a buyer would rather pay less and be able to renovate it to their own tastes. And sometimes your time, your energy, and your peace of mind are worth more than chasing top dollar on selling the house. You don't want to take on another project. You just want to be able to start the next chapter without dragging this chapter along behind you. Selling your home without updating it often makes sense when the home is clean and functional. The major systems are in decent working shape. You don't want to deal with or manage contractors, or you're just emotionally ready to move on. This is incredibly common for empty nesters and downsizers, people who have lived in their home for many years, or sellers who are looking to transition into a smaller home or a retirement lifestyle. In these cases, the goal isn't perfection, it's positioning. And that comes down to pricing, marketing, and expectations. So let's talk about when updating does make sense. And I want to be very clear, there are times when updates make sense. Small strategic improvements can sometimes help. Fresh and neutral paint, updated lighting, decluttering and staging, and just minor cosmetic fixes. These aren't full renovations, they're just presentation choices. Watch my video here on low-cost, high ROI home updates before selling. If your home feels dark or dated or neglected, sometimes small changes can absolutely help it photograph and show better. And it's all about how it appears in the photographs and how it shows. But that's very different than tearing out kitchens or bathrooms and doing full-on home remodels before you sell. So let's put some local context around this. Here in the Raleigh market, and honestly across much of the country, homes are still selling, but not like they were a couple of years ago. We're seeing average days on market closer to 50 to 60 days, and buyers are being much more cautious and selective than they were just a couple of years ago. Homes are still selling, but they're taking longer, and buyers are paying much more attention to things like condition. So that means that condition matters more now. It's probably not a surprise to you that updated move-in ready homes tend to sell faster with fewer negotiations and sometimes are even still attracting multiple offers. Homes that need work can sell. Absolutely, but they're taking longer to sell, and the pricing and presentation have to be just right. The margin for error is smaller. When you sell as is, you shrink your potential buyer pool because some buyers don't want projects, some can't handle the repairs financially, some buyers have trouble getting financing if there are certain repairs that need to be done. Some just move on to the next listing that feels easier to them. So the buyers that do show up are often those who are looking for a discount, and they expect the price to reflect the condition. So this is where sellers get frustrated. They want the simplicity of selling their home as is, but they still want updated home pricing. And unfortunately, the market doesn't usually give you both. So that doesn't mean that your house won't sell, but it does mean that pricing correctly is everything. When you choose to sell as is in today's market, it's not just about foregoing updates. It's about understanding who your buyer will be, how long your home may be on the market, and how much negotiation you're prepared to handle. But here's the good news, and this is especially true if you've lived in your home for a long time. You don't have to have full-on renovations to protect your value. Simple things like deep cleaning, decluttering, neutral paint, updating lighting fixtures and older bath and kitchen fixtures, and improving your curb appeal. All of those things can dramatically change how buyers feel when they walk through your home. In this case, we're not trying to make your home perfect. We're just trying to help buyers be able to imagine their own lives within those walls. That middle ground often gives sellers the best balance of price, speed, and peace of mind. So if you're asking yourself, should I sell my home as is or should I update it first? It's not a yes or no question. It's about what's important to you. The right answer for you depends on your timeline, your budget, and what buyers in your specific neighborhood are actually paying for. A great question to ask yourself before you sell is, where is my money and my energy best spent before I sell? Would you rather put $30,000 into renovations
or price strategically, maybe get a little bit less money, sell sooner, and move on with less stress.
For many sellers, especially those downsizing, the second option brings them peace of mind.
They would sacrifice a little bit of income on the house to not have to put in the work beforehand.
And this is exactly where having the right guidance makes all the difference. If you're in the greater Raleigh area and you'd like help sorting that out, we'll take a look at your specific home, your local market, your goals and timeline, and your tolerance for stress. That will help you decide what makes the most sense for you, because the right answer for you isn't always the same as your neighbor's. Thank you again for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button. And if you have a family member who is trying to make this decision right now, please share this with them, because making the right choice here doesn't just affect sales price. It affects your stress levels and how smoothly you're able to move into your next chapter.